Everyone, welcome back to 502 Motorsports YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a leak down test on the big block Chev in the WB Ute drag car. I've got the leak down tester already set up on number one, so let's get straight into it. As you can see, I've got it already set up number one. Number one's up on compression on number one, so I've got my leak down tester here. You can see here the two gauges. One is the amount of pressure that's going into the cylinder, and the other one is how much it is actually leaking. So I've got the carby off, I've got the exhaust off, or the exhaust has been off, don't have the exhaust made up for you, and I've also got one of the breather plugs out. I've had plugs on it while it's been sitting in the garage, so no dust and stuff goes down in there. So hopefully today we'll find out where we're leaking our little bit compression one was on. Just remember from the compression test, number one was the best cylinder. So we'll start with the best and we'll see how we go. I've got my air lead, compressed air lead running up from the shed. So we'll plug this in and we will see how much we're leaking. Well, straight away our best cylinder is not looking so good. We've got it's about 57.5% leak down. Okay, next thing is, which is not good at all. So the next thing is we're going to find out where we're leaking our air from. So we'll cover our hand over here so we can hear any air escape when we take it off. Nope. Okay, we'll do it. Oh, I can already feel it. We'll listen. When I take my hand off, we'll hear the pressure escape. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'll bring the phone a little bit closer. So, not off to a good start. If number one's got almost 60%, and that was our best one, I don't have great hopes for the rest of them. So we'll call that 57, because it's pretty much right in the middle of 55 and 60. So we'll call it 57.5. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so we got hooked up to number three again. So we'll plug our hose in. So we're putting about 35 pound into the cylinder. What we got almost 45% leakage. So we'll try the rings first. Yeah, it's we also got some coming out of the exhaust valve. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's coming out of the exhaust valve. So we've got a little bit of blow by on the rings and out the exhaust valve as well. Alright, we'll move on to the next one. Hooked up here to number 5 cylinder. So number 3 we ended up having rings and an exhaust valve that was leaking pressure. So hopefully number 5 quite wasn't right. I just had to reset that. So we'll plug it back in. See where we're at. Okay. %45 leak down on it, so yeah, everything. This one's got rings again, pressurising the sump. We'll also check the exhaust valve. Now this was, well, technically still is, a nitrous motor, which are notoriously hard on valves. So I'm not, if it's got an exhaust valve, if the valves are leaking, I'm not going to be too surprised. The exhaust valve is good on this one. Okay, so we got rings on number 5, and we're looking 45% again. So this is nice. I like to keep a record of what we're doing, and also down here what I'm finding. So number 5 will be rings. Okay, so we'll I'm not, number 7 and number 4 are probably the two biggest ones I'm worried about. So we'll see where they're coming from. So we'll get ready for hooked up to number 7. Okay, set up on number 7 here. So we'll see how we go on this one. Plug her in. On this one we just got just under 40% leak down. So I'll go the ring, try the rings. I can already hear the air, feel the air coming out before I put my hand on there. So you guys might be able to hear it when I take the my hand away. Hear the air escaping. So we're looking at rings there. Not as bad as I thought. Kind of. It only had 152 pound in it. It's only got, well, we'll call it 40. %40 leak down, so I know maybe the gaps on the rings are bigger, but they'd have to be pretty big to be letting that much air through. So maybe it's just one of those things. Cylinders, you know, I've had new engines that are all over the shop, so let's wait and see. But it looks like this thing will be coming apart. Won't be straight away, but I'd like to do it before I start racing, so I'll have to sit down and work out a game plan. But we'll move on over to the other side. Okay, so we're back with number 2. I've already got it hooked up and the air's flowing. So we're looking at 15% leak down. So we'll go to the rings first. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear it when I take my hand off. The air's escaping. So it's 15%. Not too bad. So we'll move on to number 4. They're hooked up and going on number 4. 55% leak down. So check rings straight away because that seems to be the main culprit. Yeah, fair bit of pressure building up. Check the exhaust valve. Yeah, you guys probably won't hear it on the video, being it's quite windy down here today. But I can just hear it as I take my hand off. Just let a little bit seep out. I can just hear it, and don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, we got a bit of an exhaust valve leak on number 4 as well. So talking 55%. And rings and exhaust. We'll move on to number 6. So hooked up number 6. We'll get the hose, plug her in. And it's starting to creep up. We're looking 35. Check the rings. You can hear the air coming out. Check the exhaust. The exhaust is pretty good. So it looks like just rings. And number 6, we got 35%. And we'll put rings down here for the culprit. We'll move on to number 8. Okay, so we're back here. Number 8's already hooked up. I got the air into it. We almost got, let's call it 63% leak down. And check the rings. Don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's plenty of air coming out through that breather. We'll check the exhaust on this. There's a little bit of air coming out the exhaust, so yeah, I can just hear it and I can feel it on my end. So we got rings and exhaust on this one. It's, we're talking 64%, and we got rings. And exhaust. Okay, well that's that done. Well, I'll just pack this up. So yeah, that was the leak down test on the big block in the WB drag car. I've just quickly thrown the carby back on it and screwed the plugs back in it just to seal it up, so we don't get any junk going down it. The next thing I need to work out is what I'm going to do. I've kind of, over the last week or so, decided to move away from the nitrous on the engine for this reason, that, you know, they're notoriously high maintenance and savage on parts, valves and rings and stuff like that. So I was planning to run the nitrous on it, but over the last couple of weeks I've just been leaning away against it. So I really need to come up with now an idea of where I'm going to go with this engine at the moment. If it's just going to be a simple rings and bearings, get the head serviced and run it back and put it back in and run it as it is. I need to dig it. I did get a heap of receipts from when the engine was originally built, when I bought the engine off the previous owner. If I'm going to steer away from the nitrous, I need to work out, do I need to move away from the cam that's in it, you know, starting putting cams and sets of lifters in and push rods and that. It does start getting pretty expensive pretty quickly. So I've got to work out if I'm just going to run the cam what's in it, maybe put, you know, rings, bearings and a set of lifters in it, or, you know, I'll know more when I pull it apart, how good the pistons are in it, how they've been running with the nitrous. You know, we all love to pull engines apart and would love to throw infinite amount of dollars on them. If it comes to that point where it needs pistons and maybe a cam, you know, I'd love to push it up to maybe around that 1,000 horsepower naturally aspirated, but it becomes with dollars then. So I have to sit down, work out what I'm going to do with the engine when it comes out. I don't think it'll be coming out anytime soon. I've got a lot of work to do on the car. I don't like having engines sitting around built for months on end. I'd rather plumb it, exhaust it, have everything sitting there ready to go, and then the last, the last thing is pull the engine out, get it rebuilt, throw it back in so it's got a fresh motor. I don't like them sitting around for months on end, assembled. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, anyone you like into cars and bikes. So then I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.